Hey guys, so welcome to Comfy Cozy Up. So we're doing the annual the Booker prediction and favorite. Now I read all 6, painfully saying so. And I got some thoughts. So here are the books. Now this, I've been following the Booker, like really following as in reading the books, you know, always reading the winning book and even reading the long lists and absolutely short lists, you know. I would say since 2012, and it started out just reading the winning books, and then it got to the point where I'm deep in, especially for the last couple of years, where I tried to read the long list. This is probably the first time I did not do well with the long list, and this started out, to me this year felt so negative because so many people got their feelings hurt because a book that is homage, and I will not get off that hill where where I want to kick people down because they've never even read the original book, and you guys already know is Demon Copperfield. And I felt that book, because that book didn't make the list, there was so much negativity that it just left a sour taste in my mouth. Then, okay, I didn't care. I'm going to continue reading the books. And then it became a situation where I find that the books this year weren't strong at all. If we were going to compare even to last year, there are at least 4 books on the shortlist last year that can win over these books, except for one. But I still felt like I'm going to read them because I find, for me personally, the Booker list introduced me to new authors. It introduced me to authors that I would have never picked up, a storyline I would have picked up. And it explored me to different kind of writing style. However, the Booker does have his type. And I noticed that within my short period of time of following the Booker, that there's a type, there's always a theme. There's always a similarity with certain books, even from prior years, and you get that in here. Now, I'm going to start with the book I read last, and this book was The Prophet's Song, and it gives me, this is a genre, it gives me similarity to other books where the world is different, the world is problematic and things are happening. This has politically driven theme as well as family. And so another thing, I'm not giving you reviews of these books, so you have to watch videos that I've previously done to see reviews. And then this book also, there's always a book that gives you the future or the current or things that can get you. And here in this, where I felt like, okay, this book is gonna get me into my feelings because of all the crap that's happening. Let's see. So this comment I liked. It said, "We belong to a tradition, but tradition is nothing more than what everyone can agree on. The scientists, the teachers, the institutions. If you change ownership of the institution, then you can change ownership of the facts. You can alter the instruction of belief. What is agreed upon, that is what they are doing." And then there's a part in the bottom where it just went in, and it said, "If you say one thing is another thing, you can say it enough times, then it must be so. And if you keep saying it over and over, people accept it as truth. This is an old idea." Absolutely love that part of the book, and it sets you up to things that's happening in the story. I thought this was good. I struggled a little with this one, you know, the characters and how it was setting up, especially in the beginning. But nevertheless, it is part of always having this world, this complicated world, this thought-provoking idea of the reality versus fiction. And so I was like, okay, but not my favorite. There's always that one book that made the list where I'm like, what the F? What the F? I thought I was gonna love it, but at the same time, I also knew there was a possibility. So The Study of Obedience, and this is Sarah Bernstein. Now, I love short and sweet kind of books. But what this book felt more essay-ish. It gave me essay-ish vibes. I waited halfway in the book waiting for a story. It just felt like somebody's journal entry. And, you know, the storyline was also, you know, it builds you up thinking something much more deeper than what it is. Yeah, it's talking about powerfully explores question of complicity and power, displacement, and inheritance. Now, with the powerful. Is it powerful? Is that? Yes. No, the power. I don't know. I didn't hate it because there's certain aspect of it that I thought I liked, but it's just it didn't grab me like I wanted it to grab me. I was underwhelmed. I'm just gonna be honest. I wanted to really enjoy this, especially since, you know, there's people that I love and follow that really enjoy this, but it just didn't do it for me. Western Lane, Chetna Mode. This one is one of those where you are in it. I'm loving it. I'm you know, the pages are turning, and then it stopped and not giving me enough. Like, I love short, sweet story. I love story that has that abrupt ending, but it has to be done in a way that it feed enough in the story for me to like appreciate that kind of ending. This did not give me enough. It's just, it felt like there's so much more that could have happened to this storyline, and it just didn't. I love sports. I love family drama. Again, a lot of family. The whole yeah, family. The entire 6th book has some complicated family drama going on. All 6 books. That's a first. You know, yeah. All 6 books surround some kind of family drama. Not enough. Then we have If I Survive You. And Jonathan Escoferi. I still don't know how to pronounce his last name properly. So, love this. Alright. Sorry about that. A little cough spell. If I Survive You. This gives me that personal read feel. That complicated relationship with a father and a son. But then it has a lot to do with identity. This is a Jamaican author. And this is a story where the character is Jamaican and the character is in a new environment. So he's trying to find himself in the midst of everything that's happening in terms of new environment, education, family, and it's still not knowing who he really is. Now, I love this in terms of like how it ended. It gave me that he's gonna be alright kind of feel. And I remember talking about this in my review. It is very memorable. It was the first book I read in the short list, and I, you know, still can remember details that are significant in the story that I really loved, or even minor things that just made me kind of think. And I talked about this book with my mother, and even though it's a serious situation in certain things, but we still laugh about the Aki tree. We still, you know, laugh about certain things that happen, but it is sort of how we handle certain things. We tend to make fun of certain things, but I really like this, and it's a possibility. I think it's a strong possibility, but we'll touch on that later. Then we have the other Eden, and this is Paul Hardin. Now, this is a book that is inspired by a true story, and so this is one of those books beyond the pages where I went and did digs and found out some more information about the storyline and things that happen. enjoyed this. This is very heartbreaking storyline. It does piss me off because it made me dig into history and realize there's so much flaws and disgusting things that's happened, and how people's life was ripped apart because of a single individual who can plant something in other people's mind. There is one thing in this book that I was not a fan of. I talked about this in my review, that it's one of those where when you get a story that's inspired and how you use it. I do like how it talks so much about the historical content of certain things, and how it all based on who wrote it can be very detrimental in telling someone's story. So this one gives me that highlight of that. With that said, I think this was good. This was a good read, and like I said, a very much beyond the page kind of book. So, you know, once you read this, you're gonna want to actually go look up on the real story that it was inspired by and realize how effed up that one is. And the book that got me out of my skin, like out of my skin, absolutely love it. The Bee Sting, Paul Murray. Now, this is a family saga. It's a beast, but it's one of those books I could have kept reading. You could have gave me 200 more pages and I would have loved it. The ending was epic. The ending was thought-provoking. The ending has you puzzled. The ending had you thinking, coming up with your own narrative of what you think happened. You are in this story, in this family. It's four perspective you are learning, and you have different characters that you really are, you know, rooting for. You have the young boy in this who is just going through it and wanting to save and want his old life with his family and the happiness that he has seen. You have the teenage, she going through a teenage, and you know, there's a matter of the heart, there's also the identity, there's also growing and not understanding certain things, but of course teenage years will do that to you. And then you have a mother and a father would both have these toxic things that created this relationship in essence, but there's secrets between them, there's things that they're doing, and it's just, this family was just messy, but so good. Oh my god, this book, there's certain parts of the book had me screaming, you know, I'm yelling at PJ. I'm like, damn it, you know, Dickie, I just want to, you know, take the damn book and knock him over the head. I absolutely love this. I absolutely love this. This is one of those books that I will forever tell people to read, and I have so many people I know that are reading this, including people at work, because I'm like, if I could give this to somebody, I would give this to somebody that's an avid reader, because I love a chunky book that is going to make you want to keep turning the pages. A chunky book when you get to the end and you are, I gotta do some more, but then at the same time I thought he was daring to end a book like this, knowing that you're probably gonna piss off quite a few people, is genius. Okay, this man, yes, this book. Now let's get into all of this. Let's get into all of this. Absolutely not. I would be shocked and pissed. Absolutely not. I'll be shocked and scratching my head. Why? Don't think so. But I could probably live with it. I could live with it. No. I wouldn't be able to live with this one. Only because that one little thing in the book that no. I could definitely live with this. I think for a debut author, he did a wonderful job with this one. I thought it felt very authentic, very authentic. And I love storyline that you, especially me being a Jamaican person, I read this and I felt how interesting the storyline is, but also it covers that self-awareness and a little bit of, I would say, a mental health case in this, in a much more realistic way without going overboard. So I think he handled this well. The writing was nice. I do like how it's written. You know, that interlocking kind of storyline you get with this. So it's a strong possibility. If this win, I will still be okay. I will be okay. But I have to go by how these books made me feel. I have to go by the energy I got from the book, the way I smiled when this book was done, and how I literally was fist pumping this author's work. I have to just let you know, this is my favorite. Tops down is my favorite. Now, with the case of the Booker and how they often choose the books, unfortunately, a part of me feel like probably this wouldn't win, because the fact is, it is not complicated. This is not a complicated writing style at all. So if people often want the most like out there writing style, or complicated twisting and you scratching your head trying to figure out stuff, this is not that kind of writing style. This is very well done storytelling without the over-the-top writing style that you often get with other books. This is telling a messy family drama and how they are drawn to each other in the midst of the chaos that some of them created on the, you know, by themselves. But the writing is not that kind of complicated writing at all. So because of that, it's like sometimes I feel like the Booker just wants the over-the-top kind of story, and this is not writing style I meant, but this is not it. But if I'm gonna be truthful to how these 6 books made me feel, this is the one that I will scream and tell people to go read. This is the book. And I love everything about this book. Don't care about anybody else's opinion. I will ride on the hill with this book. So, my favorite, my backup. So, yeah. This is how we're gonna roll with this. My favorite, my backup. And it needs to be one of these. Period. But y'all know I will act a fool on this freaking tape tomorrow, because I'm really recording this the day before. But I will act a fool tomorrow if this is the winning book. Just know. Prepare yourself. Prepare yourself. And I will probably still act a fool if any of these. If any of these win, I will probably still act a fool, because I will want to know what that... Sorry guys, so that is it. This is me talking. Chime in, let me know what your favorite was. If you had, you know, we all gonna have different opinions on these books. It's okay. It's okay to have different opinion, but I gotta be truthful to myself, and I'm riding on this hill with Paul. Okay, me and Paul, okay, me and Paul. Alright guys, and y'all need to get over y'all feelings. Everybody's favorite book did not look. There's some books that just no. Amish books, if you are writing a book off a previous masterpiece, no. Bye guys.